Attention, last minute. Christian Horner could get into a lot of trouble if he continues to support Helmut Marko's mistreatment tactic. Checo is backed by Ford, so Checo's contract is secure in 2026, and they are playing rough. That's why. That's why Checo says, in a month, I want to know my future. And that's why Christian Horner responds to him and says, Verstappen is already safe. And last minute, Christian Horner, he says, there are many races left to know the future, to start discussing the future. Mr. Christian Horner is getting into a lot of trouble because Ford has clauses and Ford has made it very clear. Because of the Horner Gate issue, which is something else we're going to review, Horner should be quite worried again. Because the case is reopened, says The Sun, a reliable source. Now we'll see how. The case appears to be reopening, and this could harm Red Bull. Why? Because Ford already said it. Let's go over it. They maintain integrity within the company, and that could be a clause. But there's another clause that's crystal clear. Obviously it's about keeping Checo Perez. He stated it clearly. There hasn't been a public statement in which he came out talking about Red Bull that didn't end up with Checo's praise saying they want to make Checo champion, as we'll review. That would be enough not to renew Checo, causing Ford to leave the project. So what are you going to do, Mr. Christian Horner? Are you going to start making engines with your buddy Helmut Marko? Welcome to Maniacos, Formula 1, YouTube, and PSO a Hornet like being bikers and
About
creating
sighting.
engines, or are they meddling?
In a dilemma.
Now let's look at the entire chronology of all the facts and how Checo Perez being at Ford is a non-negotiable condition for Diba Imapatitad. Keep for pleasant that is lavish.
If that wasn't
Currently,
preserved, for example,
For instance, or if Checo leaves Formula 1, there would be clauses that Ford could, the very next day, disassociate from him. Obviously, Ford has at no point stated they want more of Verstappen. They merely mentioned Honda. It's in our previous videos and we've analyzed it. In videos where we talk about Horner's stabbing of Sergio Perez, the RB20 is good, but Max makes the difference. For example, this is a video. What we did 3 hours ago and then another stab in the back from Perez. But now we'll tell you the whole story, no doubt. The doubt, what is worrying is the contract, right? The contract that if Checo Perez is negotiating more things. Why? Because we are going to prove that Checo Perez is not foolish. Checo Perez has the power and they are using the abuse technique on him. For what? To perform better according to Helmut Marko. But this little game won't go far because it was... Be careful because it's coming strong. Now we're going to analyze it. Notice that in this video of Horner being stabbed, here our former maniacs as always supporting Checo. Checo should renew, sign with another team, and see. Guys, you should not renew. Take notice. Christian Horner's attitude is making Checo's fans start to like him. Even someone to link him with Red Bull because he's not supported there. The Dutch capital Max Bull is what it is because of Sergio Perez's great contribution. In the development of the single-seater, Horner is forgetting all about this. Horner is forgetting that the key piece for Ford to enter Formula 1 is Checo Perez, and this could be very costly.
Rating as stated in a 1-year contract.
Why could that generate?
let people panic.
Checo Perez is a key
It's
player.
crucial. Now we're going
Let's
to
see
how they're fighting with all these things.
And they don't end well. There's a mismatch between what they think.
That's Christian Horner and
Here
what
comes Checo Perez. But as you can
that
see,
throws it
has
off
nothing to do with
balance
it.
with Checo Perez and Ford. Checo Perez introduces
Take
the Mustang Mach Sport in Mexico. What do you
Forrest
think?
is willing to accept that Checo
Is
Perez
he not at Red Bull Racing in 2026? Do you think there's a possibility within the plans? Obviously not.
Obviously
Weber is thinking
she's
outside
leaving.
because Ford doesn't want him. Watanabe already said he wanted him.
That is Guantanamo as it
he
is.
wants to sign Verstappen. He doesn't want
A chinko. I clarify. This was not very clear to many people. during yesterday, it means it's not that he doesn't want him at Red Bull in 2025. He was saying that Honda is going to Aston Martin, which will be Honda Aramco in 2026. A very strong and exciting
The
project.
ship was
We're covering
encouraging
that project.
departure.
But
And
it
not
was
about Pierce,
forgotten.
that's what we're talking about.
in yesterday's video,
That's why I want to say,
The key factor of Ford is that
It's the other way around. That is, it's very
and
clear
it will
what...
happen in 2026.
Wave, Verstappen, Trico, Ford, all that is...
let
Well,
the
I think
emptiness
I'll-
move.
Ford can go ahead and do
And to
this.
say, I don't want it. That's why I say Christian Yorne is playing with fire.
I've conducted a poll here on Sportmaniacs.
On the channel? Okay,
It's
guys.
not for you to see.
And I want you all to vote, okay? If Checo leads the Ford project, which is obviously going to
Beautiful.
happen, they're selling all smoke. Checo is going to renew for 3 years. What do we do with Horner? It was for not supporting Checo because what is happening with Checo is robbing him of the
That
championship.
seems right to me.
With everything that's happening, do you know what Christian Horner and Checo Perez are like? German Marcos and Christian Horner.
A lemon and the pony.
Horner and Marcos are exactly the same. Pepe tells us through this comment on Sportmaniacs. Vote and look at how the poll is going, which you will surely find interesting. And now, before analyzing how, of course, one can implement a clause and thus vanish from the Red Bull project, which is sinking because of things like putting in transparency.
Already, keep a poll in your research.
Everyone.
See you
No,
next
it was
time.
an independent committee. Yes, of course, it was the lawyer of the Lovilla family. It was said recently, and no one has come out to deny it, so it is true. No, he was the Luvica family's lawyer, but was specialized. False. It was said that he hadn't dealt with any workplace harassment cases.
Within their very important cases.
I was specialized, but not in that. It means it's like if you hire a lawyer for
crimes and uses it to have you investigated under a contract.
all this is
That's
about
a
the
doctor.
budget falling apart completely.
Less than 20 people
Marketing
party.
whiz.
Because Checo has that and people don't care.
But all the other people aren't aware of
They-
what's happening.
What's happening? And who's behind all this?
And now that I'm convinced, I'm going to show you the last bits now so you can see how things are progressing.
it agreed?
I mean, so you understand. I'm going to explain the key point. Subscribe and
Around
save your
the
opinion
world.
on the topic. Horner, why? Because if Checo doesn't get renewed, they do this and leave, and there's no need to say it's because of money. They just say it's because of fear. Do you see the big problem Rehul
Give
is
me
getting into
today.
just because of the mind games they're playing on Checo Perez? Do you understand that because of what's happening now, which I'll summarize, we're not going to make a video. We'll just summarize because this is very key within Checo Perez's future contract, which is what I'm explaining to you. That's why I mentioned it. Otherwise, I wouldn't even bring it up. To me, this already, the Christian Horner scandal, to me, it doesn't matter. I know this is going to end the same way it started, blowing up Red Bull. So from there, when they recently republished the bombs, then I'll explain to you that the bombs have fallen. But this is very important. Why? Because the woman at the heart of Christian Horner's sexting scandal on sync.co.uk will be questioned again
And
by
the important
other
ones.
researchers this week. He was interviewed again as part of an appeal after his complaint
That's
was.
this is the
So, an appeal was made. It was made to
they say it's bland, no?
that track, which is why the CIA had a 1-hour meeting in Bahrain with Christian Horner. All of this, I insist, I'm not explaining it for nothing, but to imagine
Like,
for
and that-
in the notebook saying, keep playing this game. I've got a machine gun here. Your
Damn.
temptation, one bullet, just waiting to pull the trigger. Because it could be that within the project.
Bullfrog Power 3.
Are you kidding me?
Si Perico, see you later.
Because Christian Horner is not being like...
What's happening to Checo Perez?
Can we learn the foundation and the key?
In soccer...
Ford solid marriage.
And bring Formula 1.
Sorry, it was activated here. Look what was activated. It wasn't just anything. Look.
Let yourselves be seen.
Waza! Huh? Horner, you're seeing this. Mr. Christian Horner.
That's your severance. If you keep it up, it's your severance. Severance is the dismissal you get when you leave a team. They're
Because
saying
what
there's
is
another new
happening-
investigation. Bull is looking bad if we've been revealing it for a while. Because here we don't say what people want to hear. That is, here we tell the truth and truthless.
That was a supply.
investigation shorting. On top of that, with the boss's lawyer defending Horner. But well, what a scandal. This is the biggest scandal in history for a moment.
See you next
What's
time.
happening now, and you're not realizing, it's like the technological revolution we're living in. With all the technology that's helping us to, the future is the same, nobody's noticing, and it will be talked about as the third global technology or the revolution. Technological or whatever they'll call it in history books, but you're the ones watching and you're not realizing. And it's the same as this. It's the biggest scandal in the history of Formula 1 simply because Red Bull has managed this whole issue poorly, right?
Look, what is being said is that he's going to, let me sum it up,
Connection.
make a new movie with a new lawyer.
Goodbye.
And this lawyer, is it possible? No, it's not possible. Christian Horner will have to testify again, right? To declare as soon as, regarding the appeal the girl is making at the company with another lawyer. What's going to happen here? Well, obviously, if he's the
Let
boss.
this girl decide what she has to do. Really report it.
Okay.
But why is all this happening?
Hit like
Behind. Who wants to explode Red Bull?
Disappears from Red Bull in 2026 and goes
With
to
a
invade.
backpack taco vendor?
we're going there.
I'm not
War
saying
is.
more. But all
Bad
these
people.
scandals are encouraged.
Pray well.
They want to destroy Red Bull because they don't care.
2026.
By 2026, they know Checo is the foundation of the project. That's why Verstappen will never stay there. Ford said so.
That's why Christian Horner, here he is together.
Ubango. He's running into trouble executing clauses, okay? Simply put, the woman is filing an appeal. Ate, sa po
With a new lawyer,
The
Christine.
Alfonso will be asked again, okay? He was questioned again, and there you have it.
No one wants this to drag on. It's being said, but it's going to drag on. Red Bull has made it clear that once the appeal is over,
They are willing to be transparent and in lies. Then they tell you
And
nothing.
the woman has also full.
that's within the Jet organization.
And I understand there's also a complaint.
In the United Kingdom, I don't know if that's true or not, but
I understand that. Yes, but it's not important. Why? I insist. Because this is the key. And it's fundamental to understand.
3 and 4 drop out. This was the project. The Ford is already perfectly the key to the world.
Everything
It can
going
be
out,
the project.
everything for all this.
Scandal already settled.
Do you understand? That is, Ford could now just go ahead and say, meaning either you renew the Czech driver's contract or I'm leaving Formula 1.
Saying it's because of the gasohol scandal. What a mess. Stay calm, Mr. Jovica.
That's what one can say.
Because at these moments. And now we're going to prove it.
The
Both
psychological
to
torture that Horner is supporting the Verstappen clan
Checo
with.
Perez, when there's no point in existing, because Checo has his future secure.
No comfort.
And we're going to prove it too. All very quick.
And
Take a look.
answer why
Thank you.
Formula
Master the
1.
grill.
And not
Nothing
just
for the
pay
pussy.
attention.
We have a nice
Apila, asipira tipo. But Max makes a difference again. Right, where is Checo here? No, Checo's not supported. We're throwing Checo off.
Right? Who wants to say this? Well, maybe.
What does it mean that Ford
Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and
For
billions.
a euro for us.
Christian Horner's
Because presenting a Forza is not the
Tell
same.
people that 90% they're not Formula 1 fanatics and don't know anything, saying that
Well,
Checo
it's
is
a
being
plan.
humiliated. You're telling the truth. They're sabotaging Checo. They don't give Checo the tools. They change Checo's engineer to screw him over. None of this is said outright. Instead, they torture Checo Perez. It's not Checo's renewal isn't even assured. So, how are you
Thanks for watching the video.
How
and
are
for
you going to
sharing it
present
with
your party
friends.
now, Pepco? Do you get me or not millions for a sandwich like Christian Horner who wants to support the attitude? To pull a maneuver that's the same as George Verstappen, to leave Verstappen stranded at the gas station. That's what they want to do to Checo. And away we go. To support that, what's going to happen in the end is that Ford will pull out of the project.
It's not about losing millions in 2026. It's that, as I'm demonstrating, we're already losing.
You get me? This is a very important for Project 4. The before and after, why do you think it's announced the year? It's announced that Ford is entering Formula 1. Why did they feel like announcing it to someone? No, because the sooner you announce it, the sooner you can start to, how should I say, monetize that project. How does it pay off? Well, like I've shown you by bringing a Ford Mustang into Mexico. But of course, tell people you have a good concept, but what really makes the difference? Tell people that in 2027, abim ko ang diesel, we've got Max Verstappen, 100% secured, but for Checo Perez, we're going for races. Tell people, when Checo Perez says he wants to know his future in a month to be settled, but we make afraid. Say no. Because when you Cooper stop overperforming, you take it and that kick pull for Power Tower 3, right? Cheers. Then they can't sell the four Mustangs in Mexico anymore. Can anyone put a stop to Christian Jornet? Who's going to do it?
Paul,
Because
Keep it up and you'll announce in a year.
all these projects
He's
are
got a market
for
shake.
me.
What's up with Brazil and Latin
and
America?
so on.
Up, acho.
They're going to rejoice.
And
Yes,
they have
right.
an L for
Well,
strong.
under the bench, which is the scandal, because you can be a rag and bone business, do sabotage operate in the shadows?
contain.
If a serious company like Jorge's comes along, watch out.
Face in the face.
I don't understand that.
Should I get involved? Because you've fallen into the trap twice. One with the poorly managed Honey Super scandal, which is the excuse to fire Thomas Portleches, the whole project. Massima. And that's the excuse, I insist, because the real reason would be Sergio Perez's team. But maybe Sergio Perez's situation would need courts. It would need not with the other thing. They are so foolish at Red Bull that they've gone and said, everything's better. Give me the gold back.
Do I make myself clear?
If I declare, it explains things.
Genius.
Everything that is declared in this equation is lying to you. It
Going-
won't accept you. It won't
We'll
accept
have
you.
check.
He's not going to accept it.
And watch the next video to understand it.
Or look at Red Bull social media. There, I shouldn't have had to say it.
Everything was clear.
Subscribe to
Oh
the
my
channel.
goodness, with this incredible
Trap
laugh.
music, of course.
Auntie,
They're
June,
playing around with these MTV
you can
words.
come.
From last
Nothing.
week.
I must say, I insist. 100% that hurt me. That Stappen is in Red Bull.
But hey, let's wait. The ongoing battle, after Checo said he wants to know his situation in a month, listen to what Christian Horner says.
No, I
Everyone
think
is in a hurry and only a short time has
There are
passed.
4 races.
In the year. We're not in a hurry and obviously there's significant interest in our cars.
As is expected that the second or third time, he emphasizes the same
Because
thing.
there is an interest in their cars. But not in their cars, in their car number 11.
What's up, Christian?
Sean Horner,
What are they wishing for?
Bye.
That
Goodbye.
Force leaves Formula One?
do you have a secret and underground business for
Building engines that want to enter Formula One. And that's why you're doing this, because otherwise I don't understand anything. Okay, let it be clear. This video will make everything clear. No rumors, nor impossible things. Let's get one thing straight. When Fox speaks, everyone else shuts up or else things
And he's about
go
to have
south.
to leave the
No,
time.
I apologize.
Because he's
Because of
going
what
to
I-
Mexico to do things and can't even do them. It's
Good
because
morning.
Mr. Christian Horner, who keeps playing the game, next time it's on again. Dude, we'll leave you in China if you don't make it to the podium.
That's going to be next.
True, you'll have to find your own plane ticket if you don't make it to the podium. Is that going to be the next thing? Given the situation. Be quiet,
Shake
Steve.
me
He
up.
really wants to cause trouble, okay? Why all this? Because of Ford. You all know that Ford has the clauses, and this post, for example, explains it perfectly. If Ford ends the partnership early, it would leave both teams without engine suppliers.
Then what's going to happen with Red Bull is like now they finally get what they deserve. Checo might take an offer, say from Mercedes.
Payday. Do this paperwork. Do that.
Popcorn.
As you do that. Friends, the challenge is over.
But it's over.
That not even Andres will want it. I don't
What
know
was
if I don't
supposed
know
to
if
buy? Am I making
he's
myself
not coming.
clear?
The forum will obviously say,
Envoys.
"Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Am I going to stay in a team where the only thing we have now is Christian Horner, who is an alleged harasser? Are you out of your minds?
California.
How am I going to take my Ford Mustang to Mexico? Do I have a co-pilot free? Are we going like
I
this?
deserve it.
They really have the
The
nerve.
end. No, therefore, just thank you.
Hot
So,
fire.
contact
Back
me.
to the
I know
best
you.
of all.
What kind of flip-flop
Just
are those
one
Red
dice.
Bull guys? Talking more than about this.
Go away.
No, they don't mess around, not the mouth. And they are keeping quiet. What
Are
will
you
Seco
waiting?
people think if they have the guts to do that to Seco?
Go
The
on.
real deal. How the media will blast what Ford last said, and the company that adheres to very high standards of behavior and integrity. So we expect the same from our partners.
Subscribe and hit the bell.
Oh,
What dog told you
and you
this?
think about it now.
The whole
with the
game
51% lawyer that was a lie, a guy who doesn't get
Do
it.
you understand? And what was the case about? And they said it was impartial. Oh, right. And Ford mentioned something about behavior.
Their integrity. You
How
understand.
are things going? Don't be fooled. When Ford decides to jump in, that's it. Goodbye, Mr. Christian Horner. You're on your own. You let one rip and see if that boosts
Step
you.
on the
Do
gas,
I make
man.
myself clear? That's how the ancient will work, I believe.
That's how they'll boost it.
Nonsense.
Christiana Horner, you get me?
But one of the diarrheas that's going to stay with him.
See you later. Very good.
Don't renew Checo for more than a year because, as you can see, Christian Horner, Checo says he wants to renew, and Christian Horner is telling you directly,
What happened? We have to wait for him, okay? We have to wait with
Thank you very
Checo.
much. See you next time.
it seems, and what they have said in full, is that they are taking the situation very seriously. And of course, they are also worried about their brand.
This statement,
Lions.
we take it that it's
Some
from
weights.
some time ago.
Hello? Do you understand what
Much
happened?
better understanding, right?
We understand that you're worried about your brand, just like we are about ours when we introduced the Formostan MFE.
Where have you been?
Are they making it crystal clear? Are they leaving clear and fair evidence in the statements? To go with that evidence to a court
And the lawyers. And thus, surgically, to the judge.
and tell him.
Is this trash talking?
it's so
Damn
shady.
it.
We were completely fooled. I even came to...
With Checo's cap. And now you're going to hear the
And he says,
statements.
I'm going to teach it too.
I made it
Long
clear
tensions.
my company.
Look what happened.
It doesn't sell mustard for sales, but not because of the check thing.
Mr. Jonin, it's because of this scandal they've stirred up with this lawyer rigging. And I want to exercise this clause because this cannot go on. Is that what's about to happen? It would be the biggest scandal in Formula One. And that's why they
An
have
investigation.
independent.
Yes. When it was not yet known to be a scam. Because they, Ford, knew it. Obviously, they already knew things internally. You have the lawyer and everything. All that can be found out.
And are they leaving the words out?
Because they said to me, I was deceived. They are going to go to the judge with this. I say this, I was deceived. And I want my money. And compensations. Why? Because I have not sold Ford Mustang in Mexico.
And that's why I announced my signing ahead of time. The situation is extremely serious, I insist. Very, very, very serious. Christian Jorne, I insist, is making a mess, right? The guy has priority and there are still races before we start planning next year. What priority? What's up nothing big mouth?
Slipper, I have to call you mouth now. Slipper!
What, the Red Bull Ford Checo Powertrains project, did you find out? Or was it embarrassing? Woman there, Horner? No. If Checo leaves, not even your cousin likes you. On vacation.
If you're not sure, I swear.
Nap.
Can you explain
Is
to
there at the Peninsula Hotel.
Full tension is a joke, obviously, always, right? To ease the tensions. But you get
That
me?
Christian Conrad is going, huh?
I am with you.
That I'm the boss.
Who are you? Without the one by yourself.
From the picture, right? Go ahead.
And you are nobody.
You're no
You're
longer a
basically-
flip-flop besides making yourself look important. What matters
And
is Checo.
how
If Checo leaves, we all leave and Ford goes and stays.
it's so unwanted that not even
Thank you.
Andretti would take it. Look, Andretti reaches into his pocket and says, look, I've got 30 cents left, but I'm heading to Starbucks for a cup because I prefer that over staying.
In the trash.
Falsy.
And to Christian Jorge. Understood?
What is happening here, or what? But what personal side? And who is Pantaya?
People, it's coming in. Folks,
And you
I've
go
got
by
you with
season.
the still screwed up, dude. Don't you see or what?
Everyone is in a hurry and only 4 races have been done in this.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. In how much time?
Brocat
What
killed
else do
us
I
for
miss
the
so
good.
much? 1,027, he said for sure before. Not 1,099. But we left Checo at the gas station in China like a total nobody, man. I'm tired of
That the
all
force
this.
is with them.
Well,
And the people
he says
own
that
it.
Checo and Ford say that. Whatever
Goodbye.
the people say and Ford say that, if you keep going like
See
this,
you later.
if caught, Bull could get into serious trouble. Hear yourselves a demonstration of abuse.
May the best one win.
Gas station from China.
Reasons why Red Bull punishes Checo.
Marca.com, not just any medium, it's one of the top media, and look what it's telling you. It is telling you directly.
The reason for all this is what was said.
Thank you.
Hey, about
well,
having
Marco,
to
if you
perform
can renew
and
him
not
for more
giving
than
up.
a year,
Make up others, take note.
The year started here.
They set a frame, didn't they?
So, Lanyo with a different
front
attitude.
And
He
follow
no
their
longer
own
tries.
path technically. And the two cars are practically identical in the setup. False.
And we keep adding millions and millions and millions in lost Ford sales
Why?
in Mexico.
Why? Why? Wow. I mean, come on, losers, right?
Guys, the champion did it. Who
You're
isn't
not
an
pulling
adult?
a Marvel stoppage. It doesn't matter under what conditions.
Do you want to sell 20 Mustangs? I'll sell 200. You're costing me millions. Is that okay?
It's not provable in court, but it operates.
Close right now, Ford. Is this Christian Horner's doing? If the company were yours and you were trying to sell Forge, what would you like more? For Checo to be champion and us entering the Forge project with Checo as champion. Stink of shit little
I see not
bitch.
even the anthem of Alhambra.
Rika, what
I'll
are you
tell you
doing?
what's about to happen. If Mr. Christian Yorne keeps acting important when not even his cousin
Thank
from
you very
Mosto
much,
cares. I mean,
Carlos.
his cousin from Mosto sees her call.
And says I'm off to the beach
Fly.
to sunbathe with sunscreen. Of course, always protecting.
In the end, I think this
Making
will
a
be...
difference. The renewal, it seems it can be achieved. Maybe that's what motivates him. The truth is, we don't usually talk about drivers in April, but the tapping continues.
If Checo signs a 2-year contract, there's a risk he'll get too relaxed. This isn't it. Meaning,
Inside, how to say it, this pitiful psychological strategy,
giving
right?
someone
It's going to start.
perform better. Friends, do you live in China?
Many people are driven by manias.
If you live in China and own a car, please be careful. Because it might be you who has to go.
To guess the age. Because this is a scandal. It's a scandal, but a scandal. So you see that all the official press is echoing
And
it.
that the Horner cheese is resuming.
This is opening the Honda case. Come on, Honda, keep going.
Seeing you in trouble.
Especially keep saying that Mark Verstappen stays and that he makes the difference with Checo Perez with the RB20. Little help you had before
Life
from
is
people.
worth living.
No, yeah. You have to set the date to know your future next month is the little game they are playing.
This is the sad poetic.
Reports.
Then Christian
Okay.
asks, where does Chekhov say they won?
The month?
They
But
say Checo has the priority and there are still races to go. Huh? There are still races to go, but Checo says, hey, you're getting carried away. You're not going to do anything. I'm the main deal. Who do you?
will grow.
Whether it likes me, it doesn't
Yes,
like you.
but who are you? Go to Mexico. They won't know or applaud you.
And,
It's like the press is echoing that Checo has spoken.
Then scoundrels, when I check, that is when I
support
try.
Checo. Pay attention because this is very key to understanding what I explained earlier about the Horner case clause.
She is forced
Why?
to do half.
Because you've tampered with the evidence with your lawyer. I suspected my sales.
Black,
Really? Will
Okay.
he do it? Because you're strong, kid. Big strong.
Fraga!
Shall we back
Saturday
it up? Because
or
we're
not?
full of vipers here. Which are German Marco, Verstappen, Jon Verstappen, and Christian Horner. It's part of
Good.
the deal.
Can't you see it?
At what moment did Christian Horner pulling
You're
a
going to
second
regret it.
per lap on
How?
Checo
Are
and
you
is
happy with
worried?
See you in
Thank
the
you.
next video.
And they tell you right
Stay
here,
tuned.
Marca.com, that decision of the 11th is something that pleases Christian Horner and Helmut Marko, both of them. Tico has chosen not to complicate his life. He competes with an RB20 setup.
Yeah.
The one who takes the lead,
Meaning...
who has won that way in the normal ones that I always end up...
And that's why Cristiano Ronaldo remains satisfied in the soccer frame.
obviously, Christian Jones isn't going to come out and deny this. Why? Because he really said it if he agrees. I've shown it to you. So, who does all
Well,
this?
the full Checo and the full Ford are the two fools of this song, when in reality, the real fools are us. And here, do you know what happens? This is not jungle. This is
A
not
neighborhood where looks at Taicho fool and hits one
No.
another.
Notice how Ford remains silent. Just speak to leave evidence like this one. We return to Formula 1 to support the guy. See, all the evidence is saying why they're coming back to Formula 1 and then go to a court and say I'm leaving. But this is so crazy. I didn't know they had schizophrenia. I signed a contract and trusted them. But hey, this is schizophrenia. Do you understand or not? This is about to happen, you know. We'll go back to Formula 1 because the best aerodynamics are in Formula 1. the best telemetry, the best diagnostic, and to support Checo Perez, Mr. Christian Horner, Jim Farley. You're listening to me, Christian Horner, and you are nobody. You don't matter to anyone. Stop trying to be interesting and benefiting Verstappen even more. That's why I am conducting the survey on the Say channel. If Keiko leads the Ford project, what does she
What
do?
a mess, damn.
Stay yourself.
Jorner, you explain it to me or I explain it to you. How Jorner is going, because many people will see this video for the first time and will be saying, my goodness, I didn't think this okay and crap. I
After-
tell you, Checo Perez introduces the Musa and fewer units are sold. Why? Because of the Hornet mess.
This is affecting a
A
lot.
whole lot. What agreement will be maintained in Formula 1? Why? Because I support Ford. If everyone knows the key, everyone knows it, Formula 1 in the USA has been tested and many people think about
Don't mess with me. Let's see what
these
they come up with.
products are looking at Checo. I mean, who wouldn't want to be associated with Checo?
You do, Fur.
Do you understand how easy it is?
Soft
Given
game.
through Checo's way, they can break the contract. They have two ways.
way of the
Energetic
future.
Journal and Checo's way. I mean,
Right now, go. They can call the network.
Pure and tell him, look, silly, you don't understand how the business world works.
well, from the first to the second, but okay.
What? Tell me.
Are you happy with the motorcycles? No, tell me a number from 1 to 2, please, Mr. Christian Young. That's all I need from you today. Class A, the 1.
March 1st is...
Okay, Mr. Christian Jones. Look, 1 is the way because you have made an effort and everything has been adulterated.
With the Jovic family, already with their lawyer who had no freaking clue about...
Work cases through that way?
I'm leaving the project. Goodbye, Mr. Christian Horner.
No, but please, let them go back.
I'll let you go back in time, Mr. Christian Horner. Say a number from 1 to 2.
Number two, please.
And you two,
It's about
Santiago,
supporting it.
come here. The boss is the one who supports Sufi's tactic.
Helmut Marco's suffering.
So that 100% of what it is that
Did you say?
there's a 100% chance that Verstappen is
project number 4 existed.
But in Kacheco, we
I'll
had...
be waiting for you.
The second thing is, Checo says he wants confirmation from Ford already. Damn it. Why does Ben Comfort confirm the truth if I'm the star? And you come saying, no.
In the
Tanipolos.
races, there's a lot of interested people.
But Mr. Lefort, what altar
Your mother and I
is
are going
left
to leave.
me?
Go out the door.
See you next
Come
time.
back. Come back to where you were. Return to Formula 1, Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo. No one wants him. Only fans who don't really get the story.
Get it.
Watch out. I won't explain anymore because I felt very comfortable. Sorry. I really wanted to play. Okay? And I think everything's been made pretty clear. Anyone didn't get something, okay? From now on,
you have this
just
video,
go
Pat?
and tell them,
Want
look
to
how
train
I
with me?
explained the history to you.
And when a news story comes
I
out...
don't know, some Dutch trash medium that misinforms with misinformation
In
news.
short, pure and hard because they come from a damn good place.
Part 2.
or
If you want to continue like this with this kind of news, what can happen is very serious. And we have proved it.
It will be found at the base of the project.
And there are people who are not supporting Checo. And this is already affecting, as we have shown.
I insist.
I'm going to stop
Pedri.
talking now. We'll leave it at that.
I'll read your comments, guys and gals.
What do you think about the situation? Do you think like me?
And
do
as
you
people
think...
are finding out. And I stay here reading everything. Go, asapi para kay Shiba.
Commentas.
Take note. Like, for instance, Rod says, because of all the research, it seems Honda left Red Bull to break away from the stable club. But still, Apo, Watanabe's statements bury this theory. It's a big deal. What? Horner wants to keep tied to Max too.
And yes.
To go wherever he goes.
Beware, people are starting to uncover you, sir.
Christian Horner. And it's not for nothing, but because of trash statements like this, we have a good car. But Max makes the difference again. Maybe Fon makes the difference and gets you all in.
The
A flip-flop
earthquake.
slap right in the face, which is what you deserve to snap you out of that sheriff position. You deserve it. The sheriff of Red Bull, the one we want to be, is Checo Perez. You're nobody, Mr. Christian Jorba. Or I keep reading in the comments.